Hello, people of YouTube. My name is JD Shadow. What is this particular countdown you are seeing right now? Why are you looking at this clock that is showing it counting down from whenever to whenever this video ends? Well, this is the amount of time you have in order to do what I'm about to tell you. By the time you finish watching this video, it might have counted down by at least 20 minutes or so. We don't have a lot of time. We do not have a lot of time. But what is it that you're looking at right now? Well, it is the amount of time you have to put your name into a petition to Congress, to the United States Congress, to protect the rights of content creators and consumers by stopping DMCA takedown abuse. Now, in case you are not aware of what has been going on with the Where's the Fair Use hashtag, which Doug Walker, aka the Nostalgia Critic, has started, this stemmed, quite frankly, from what has been pretty much years and years of companies abusing the DMCA takedown laws. Now, you can go watch his video in the description below this video. He explains it far better than I can, but I want to, again, take it a bit of a step further and tell you about a few of the things that me and some of the other Sailor Crystal reactors have been going through and why this has been pretty much abused, and Congress has done nothing to protect the rights of the consumer and the rights of the content creators. Of course, you already know what I have gone through. You no doubt know of the 3 strikes that I had gotten on my channel when my channel was taken down for a little bit. Of course, everything is, for the most part, fine and dandy now, but every once in a while, Toei Animation will come back and say, hey, we found another one that we want to take down right away, before you have a chance to actually defend yourself and to prove that you have every right to have those reaction videos up there. Now, of course, I am not the only one that has been affected, although I am the only one that I am aware of that had gotten that much of a severe punishment for doing what everybody should have the right to do, which is review and critique a television show. Of course, I am not the only Sailor Moon Crystal reactor that has been affected by these copyright sweeps. Aurora Peachy had 2 strikes on her channel, and for a good while she was worried that her channel was going to be completely taken down, and that is, quite frankly, the end result of these type of things that are going on. Sailor Moon has also been affected. She was the person that reached out to me when I had the 3 strikes in order to explain to people what was going on in the first place. Omar Rogue is another one that has been affected by this DMCA abuse. Ronalitis Reacts has been another channel that has been affected, and I can say a lot of other Sailor Moon Crystal reactors were scared off by this whole notion that people were getting hit hard by this. And the fact of the matter is that that creates a bigger problem, which I will get to in just a second, but I want to even take it further than that. As I said in my original video, that this also extends to video games. We have recently seen that Digital Homicide, which is responsible for the Slaughtering Grounds, which is a terrifically terrible game, is suing Jim Sterling because they feel as though he was slandering them from his review. They have been targeting him for years. They have been harassing him. They have been trying to get his videos taken down, and they have resorted to outright suing him. This is by far, or possibly, the only time we have ever seen a company of any description, whether it be games, whether it be movies, or whatever, actually take that next step. As you well know, there is a way that you can delete your strikes from your channel, but it is a scary process, which makes the only way that somebody could take your video down after that is by suing you and taking you to court. We have never seen that happen, at least to my knowledge, up until now. And even then, Digital Homicide did not enact their lawsuit 10 days after Jim Sterling issued his counter notice. And keep in mind that while these counter notices are going on, your channel is deemed guilty until proven innocent. That is the whole problem with the DMCA. If YouTube gets a DMCA takedown request, which is not a real DMCA, mind you, they have to comply by law, which is kind of weird given the fact that this is not a real DMCA claim. These are just things that YouTube has to abide by, which is something that kind of needs to be addressed. And of course, we have also seen Total Biscuit, John Bing be affected as well by game companies that see the DMCA takedown system as a way to stifle critique and to censor viewpoints that they do not like, and use the excuse of, oh, well, they didn't have the permission to show game footage, when game footage is the main way you can get your point across. It's the only way you can actually get a point across. And we have seen time and time again that they know exactly, these companies, these big entertainment companies know exactly that this can be abused, and they take full advantage of it. Keep in mind that reaction videos are basically a form of review, is a form of critique. These are, or should be, protected speech, but 9 times out of 10, or maybe even 10 times out of 10, we have seen that these companies do not care. They are using this in order to stifle free speech. They're using this to take down competitors and critics, and they know that they can get away with it, and they have every intention on doing just that. So why the countdown? Well, the US Copyright Office is deciding that they want to hear about what is wrong with DMCA, and they want to hear from the public. However, they have until April 1st, the end of April Fool's Day, in order to do just that. They are breaking that cutoff date for tomorrow. By the time you watch this, it might be that day. And just so nobody gets the wrong idea, this is in no way an April Fool's joke. This is as real as it gets. Just because it is on a particular day does not mean that that day's significance comes into question. Now, Fight for the Future has set up a way for you to get your word out, get the message out, to help everybody who wants to make their voice heard to do just that. The website says, and you can view everything in the description down below, says, quote, every time a tweet is written or a video is posted to YouTube, trolls and corporate copyright holders see a way to abuse a law called the DMCA to stifle speech they don't like, cut out their competitors or critics, or fleece someone for profit. They're even using robots to automatically take down other people's work. Free speech and fair use are under attack, but now we have an opportunity to fight back. Right now, the US Copyright Office wants to hear what's wrong with DMCA, and they need your input before the end of the day on Friday. Tell the Copyright Office stop bogus DMCA takedowns and protect free speech. Now, the other heading called What's at Stake is basically saying the same thing that you can no doubt see in Doug Walker's video, which again explains it far better than I can, and I don't really want to sound like a broken record, so again, go watch his video. It is a incredibly good video, and also go watch my original video on the Where's the Fair Use hashtag. You can also read that in the description below this video. I will also be giving you all the links you need, including the link that Fight for the Future sends you to, which is the Federal Register, the Daily Journal of the United States government, which tells you everything in more legal terms about what exactly they are planning on talking about. I can't begin to tell you how important this is. I can't begin to tell you just how much this means to just about every content creator out there. For those people who want to put out reviews, who want to put out game content, who want to do reactions, who want to do stuff like that. There are several problems with this system, including a problem that exists in which some companies that issue these takedown requests are from other countries that don't exactly have a fair use doctrine. And that creates an even bigger problem, because what jurisdiction's laws do we go by? Do we go by the jurisdiction's laws of the content creator, which would most likely be the United States or in the UK? Or would that be the person that issued the DMCA takedown, which would be in a country that doesn't have fair use doctrines? It becomes much harder to try to fight something like that if you are being told you had to go to another country to fight your case to prove that you are innocent, when in your country you might have every right to post that, but in another country you might not exactly have fair use, which is kind of telling of how out of date some of these countries are to protect the rights of the consumer and the rights of the content creators. And this site also tells you that if you are not living in the US, you have options as well. And I would implore you that if you live in a country that fair use is all but a joke, to take action in your own right. Go to your government, go to whoever you have to go that can make laws to protect your rights as a consumer, as a content creator, as a reviewer, as somebody who basically does this for a living. People sometimes severely underestimate how much power they have as an individual. And you'd be very surprised how much people will actually listen to you if you make your voice heard and you escalate it and don't give up on your intentions. And no, it's not something that's going to be taken care of overnight, but you have to start somewhere. Their building blocks have to come from somewhere. And if you are going to be in it for the long haul, chances are things are going to go your way. But if you give up quite easily, then it is not going to go well for you. And they're going to keep doing exactly what they've been doing for years and years now. There needs to be stiffer penalties. One of the things that Fight for the Future says is that a clear fix to the current system is to impose penalties on corporations who abuse the DMCA by issuing false takedowns. This basically means that YouTube needs to improve their DMCA system in order to not make it guilty until proven innocent. The burden of proof has to be on the person making the request. It shouldn't be on the content creator that they targeted to say that, hey, they are innocent, because what is stopping someone who doesn't like you from impersonating a company and have your videos taken down just because they don't like you or they want to eliminate you as a competitor for them? And I can tell you from personal experience that I felt severely demoralized by the fact that I had 3 strikes on my channel at one point in time. That was severely demoralizing, because that is just saying that, hey, you have no right to produce content at all, that you've done something extremely bad. And that does hurt to a degree that we probably couldn't even fathom until we actually go through that. Think about your livelihood. Think about the thing you want to really do for fun or for a hobby or whatever. Just taken away from you because somebody had a bad day, or someone just thought that they could go through and abuse this thing like it has been. YouTube needs to get their act together. This is the best way to do it, and there's a lot more to go after this happens, but this is a great start. And please, 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 please don't get put off by the people who are trying to take a stand or get the message out. I know full well about what some of the criticisms are of Dog Walker. I know that Monday Matt has some very controversial opinions that can hit a nerve on some people. But you know what? Even if you never watch another one of Dog Walker's videos, even if you've never heard of the Nostalgia Critic, even if you hate the ground that he walks on, even if you will never watch another Monday Matt video in your life, that does not, and I repeat, that does not take away from the problems of the DMCA takedown issues. That does not take away from the problems that me and PG and Omar and Amber have faced because of this. That does not take away from the problems that Total Biscuit has had or that Jim Sterling has had. Do not let your personal opinions of the people who are trying to do something about this stop you from doing something about this. That is a petty reason to not take action. And I could go on all day about how we need to be better at handling different perspectives and different opinions about things, but that is for another time and another video. The bottom line is that if Doug Walker is willing to go through all of this in order to have somebody take action, then I can believe that he is not in it just for himself. And that was one of the criticisms that people have had when he started the WTFU hashtag. It started to look more and more like those people who had misconceptions about this are being proven wrong by the person that had started this whole thing, and it's something that should have started a long time ago. This is something that needed to be taken care of years ago, and yet we have let it continue and continue to have it get worse and worse. People make mistakes, we are only human after all, and we have the right to learn from them. But I digress. The bottom line here is that Dog Walker is more or less telling the truth. At least I believe that he is in it in order to help out the smaller YouTube channels that don't really have a voice right now, who really don't have a way in order to protect themselves because of how YouTube handles emails delivered to them. And yes, even those who have opinions that you generally do not like, they have the same right to post that content on YouTube. They have the right to say those opinions, even if you do not agree with them. And if you can't get over who originated this hashtag, how about the people that support it? How about the people, the smaller YouTube channels like myself, who have been affected by these false DMCA claims? What about those people who don't have a leg to stand on? Who about those people who don't know what exactly to do if they're being targeted by false DMCA claims? If you're not going to do it just because of the person that picked up the first pitchfork or torch, then you are denying the action for all the wrong reasons. If you have ever been affected, or you know somebody who has ever been affected by this botched DMCA law, then you have a stake in it too. And if you ever wanted to become a content creator, if you ever felt the bug and you get into it, you might benefit from this as well. I have a personal stake in this. I've been affected by this. My friends have been affected by this. And you know what? Because I've been affected by this and my friends have as well, you're damn right I'm going to support this. You're damn right I'm going to support WTFU. You're damn right I'm going to sign this. And I'm not going to think twice before I do this, because you know what? It's about damn time someone did something. And you know what? Even if those people who criticize Dog Walker's involvement are completely correct, by this point, you know what? There's going to be so many people who are going to be willing to pick up that torch and run with it. Not saying that Dog Walker would now have any reason to back down now. I believe him at his word at this point. But if by some stroke of luck, those people who are criticizing him turn out to be right, then there's going to be other people who are ready to pick up that torch, as I said. There's right now too many people who are supporting this and who are personally affected by this for one person's bowing out, if that should ever happen, to stonewall this. So I implore all of you to go onto this website. You only have until the end of tomorrow or today, if this is watched on April 1st, to sign this and to tell Washington to do something about this and to really get on the ball about this, because they want to hear it. They have actively invited us to talk to them, and hopefully it does not fall on deaf ears. I would suspect it will not if we get on the ball with this. It's going to help you out if you ever want to become a content creator. It's going to help your favorite content creator out. It's going to help those content creators you might have not discovered yet. I hope I did not bore you. I hope I explained all about what exactly is going on, and I hope you guys sign this, because if you do, you're going to help all of us out in the long run, both big and smaller YouTube channels. The fact that the government is actually listening to us and is putting this out there is proving that we are doing something right about this. My name is JD Shadow, and that just happened.